Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. So what I got for you today, with the release of the Fans and Flow event early this morning, we're going to be covering the first challenge, but I'm also going to be giving you guys a bit of an overview of the event, what rewards you can expect, and how it works. So let's jump into that. So what you'll do when you first log on is you'll get a quest to go up here to the northwestern side of Rito, to this little island where the marker will be for the quest. When you get here, you'll do a little quest talking to an old guy up on a little mountain there, but after that he'll just introduce you to the event and tell you to go interact with it, and that's how you'll start it. Jumping over into the actual preview event here, so we've got a lot of rewards to actually go through, but there's 7 different challenges that you have to complete, and each of them gives 60 Primogems, so that's about 420 Primogems in total you can get from this event. And then each challenge has 4 different difficulties, 3 of them not giving Primogems, 3 of them just giving some useful rewards like talent books, hero's wit, and some mystic ore enhancements. But that's pretty much that you can get from the rewards. The rewards do scale quite heavily. The first difficulty obviously easy, hard is a bit harder, extreme getting a bit more difficult, and then the challenger difficulty I actually did fail and I wasn't able to complete in this video. I'll definitely get back to you guys in a different video if I do complete it on a different account, just to see the difficulty scaling, because this account is actually my weaker one, but I wasn't able to complete it, so that tells you something about the difficulty scaling. To unlock that 4th difficulty though, you have to first of all complete the first 3 difficulties of this certain challenge, so that's normal, hard, and extreme. You have to complete all those to unlock challenger. And that's pretty much the general gist of the event. You do all 3 difficulties, you get rewards, you get Primogems from the first one, you get a bunch of different rewards, then you give your shot at the challenger difficulty, and if you can complete it, you can. If you can't, then that's a bit unfortunate. I wasn't able to, but yeah, that's that. So let's move on to Electrograna's Triumph. Starting it up here, we're going to be looking at the team composition I'm using, so that's Yanfei, Zhongli, Sayu, and Bennett. I'm using these 4 because I don't want to use too many 5-star DPSs, so this build is a bit more available to everyone. Yanfei for the main damage, Bennett for healing, and Sayu for healing, Zhongli for a bit of defense. Jumping to explain the little affix, so you got 100% increased energy recharge when you're carrying an Electrogranum, and additionally, when 3 characters use elemental burst within 10 seconds, you will unleash a massive AoE electro bit of damage to 5 enemies. For the completion criteria, you need to defeat 15 opponents within 300 seconds, time between kills can't exceed 25 seconds, and then no more than 2 deaths, and this is for the normal difficulty. So jumping into the actual challenge here, we're going to be putting this into a little bit of a time lapse just to make it a bit faster to watch, because all it is really just combat, so not much else I can really talk about. But I can say that the enemies are a bit of a hassle, mainly because they're the treasure hoarders. Other than that, there's nothing else really to comment on in terms of the combat. I'll just jump into a time lapse, and you guys can see what I'm doing. If there's anything major that I need to comment on, I will definitely slow down and comment on it, but usually there's nothing really to comment on in the combat of Genshin Impact. So enjoy this little time lapse. And I just realized that I was talking over most of that first challenge, but that doesn't matter. It was only 15 enemies, and it's not too difficult. Now we're going to jump into the second difficulty, which is the hard difficulty. And going into this one, the criteria actually changes of what you have to do. So you have to kill a total of 20 enemies for this one. Obviously, you still have that 25-second kill time between them, but you also can't let more than 1 character die in this one. And there you have it. That's a bit of a hard difficulty there, and that one again wasn't too difficult. I breezed through that one. Now we're going to jump into extreme, which again the criteria changes. For this one, you have to kill 25 enemies. 25-second kill time between is still there, but you're not allowed to let a single character of yours die in this one, which can be a bit scary if you're using some risky characters. But let's jump into this one. And there you have it, guys. That's Extreme Challenge. So that one was a bit scary because I thought I was going to exceed my time limit, but luckily we didn't. Now we're going to move on to seeing how that Challenger difficulty works, seeing if it's difficult or not, which I can actually confirm because this is voice over Ven. It actually is very difficult. But we're going to jump into it anyway. We've got a different set of enemies. We're actually doing a lot of Nobushi now, so we've got a lot of the Inazuma strict enemies. And a bit of the affix actually changes here. So after you do the affix, when you get that energy, when you use your elemental 3 elemental burst within 10 seconds, it will actually deal that electro shock. But there's a bit of a counter effect where if you stand still for too long, the character who unleashed that shock will take damage. The enemies are the Nobushi, and it's a bit more difficult now. And also, the biggest change is that the criteria is you actually have to defeat the 4 Kairagi. You have to defeat a total of 4 of them, on top of 20 enemies in total, and you're not allowed a single death. The difficulty in this is that the Kairagi have a lot of HP, so you need a hell of a lot of damage very quickly, so be careful on this one, guys. But that's pretty much it. Also, if you can't complete this one, I'll actually say this, don't be too bummed out because it is very difficult and you only also get 4 Mystic Ore enhancements. But let's move into the challenge time lapse here. So the first death is about to happen here, and that's because I actually die on my Yanfei, and there you have it. You also would have noticed that I wasn't actually dealing much damage to them. So I decide here to change my characters up a bit, and for those who don't actually pay to win a lot, or I don't actually pay to win either, but those who don't have a lot of 5 stars, this next build isn't going to be much for you. I'm switching over to 3 5-star DPS really. I'm going to have my Zhongli still, but I'm switching over to my main healer Barbara. I'm going to switch my Bennett over to my Ayaka, and I'm going to switch my Yanfei over to Xiao. A bit more for consistent damage and a lot more burst. If you don't have these characters, don't be too afraid. I don't actually even complete it with these characters, but you know, we'll see how it goes. And there you have it, guys. Challenge failed even with my strong team. It's mainly because you need an extremely high amount of damage to actually get those Kairagi down, because they do have a lot of HP. And on top of that, when you kill one, if there's a second one on the field, they will heal. So that obviously isn't a helping factor. But that was the Challenger difficulty. Sadly, we did fail. And yeah, you know, I'm a bit bummed, but all you do get is some Mystic Ore enhancements from it. So don't feel too bad if you also can't get it. Anyway, moving on to the rewards here, we're going to be getting 60 Primos, 2 talent books, 3 Heroes Wear, and 40,000 more from what we just achieved. If you're looking for 4 Mystic Ore enhancements, then I guess try to get that challenge done, but it's going to be extremely difficult. So if you did fail again, don't feel bad, but you're going to be able to get 60 Primos very easily from all these, up to a total of 420 from this whole event. So obviously that's going to be some good rewards. For the future challenges, stay tuned on the channel. I'll be releasing a guide kind of video on every single challenge as it releases. So the next one is tomorrow morning. The Spear Way to Heaven will be tomorrow morning, 17 hours from now. Stay tuned if you want guides on all the rest of these challenges. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. And if you enjoy guide type content from me, then subscribe to the channel. Have an amazing day, everyone, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out.